Hello, welcome to this episode of Hypnotist Bernie's Exposition. Tonight we don't have a guest, and for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Bernie, and I'm a professional hypnotist, and I've been doing a show on CCTV Channel 9 since 2006. So what usually happens is I will bring a guest to our show, and I'm going to use my clinical hypnosis skill to help him or her to solve a problem, a lifestyle problem usually. Nothing too heavy, nothing too traumatic. Usually it could be something about them having a hard day or confidence or this being a college town, doing well in school, etc. But tonight we don't have a guest here. Something we sometimes do is to give a lecture on hypnosis, but you know, it's Tuesday night, it's 8 o'clock. Nobody wants that. And if you're not in school, then you don't want to hear a lecture. And if you're already in school, you also don't want to hear a lecture, or another lecture. Yeah. But in any case, since a few weeks ago, it was actually 2 weeks ago, I talk about how to use hypnosis to manifest money. And I've gotten a lot of positive response by phone and email. And I would just like to say that these are the techniques that I've been using. I'm not just, coming up and scam you, since there's nothing to scam, since this is a free public access program. But when we think about money, I think money is the most sensitive topic one could came across, right? I think it's easier to talk about you having problem with other things, and sometimes, most of the times anyways, we use excuses to disguise what we wish to talk about money. For example, instead of like telling people that you need more money, you would say that you want more confidence with money, etc., etc. Well, or that you need more education, or you need better connections and things like that, which is all true. But most people doesn't like to talk about money, and I've heard it from somewhere that says money. Well, I heard it from somewhere. I thought it was very wise. That says poverty is a mental disorder. It's not that you do not make a lot of money that makes it a problem. It's the mindset of poverty that makes it a problem. So last week I've shared some techniques that I've personally used. And I have since been using these techniques to open up my unconscious mind and let money flow into my life. And I'm happy to report that things have been going very well for me. I'm not showing off, right? And I think like this is another thing that is part of our culture. I think it's not just a phenomenon of American culture or Anglo culture. Well, from living in Cambridge for so many years, I realized that just because it's the Western Hemisphere doesn't mean that all cultures are the same, right? But at least, I live in Canada, US, and Hong Kong, and I just realized these are all Anglo cultures. But in any case, my point is that this doesn't only apply to an Anglo-American culture. That you don't feel talking about your money. I think all across different cultures that I've encountered, talking about money is kind of like a taboo kind of thing, right? It's like your underwear. Everybody wears it, but nobody wants to talk about it, and you definitely don't want to see it. But, well, going back to my point, right? We have, since 2 weeks ago, departed from evidence-based kind of psychology. For those professors who are watching me right now, I hope you can forgive me. But I'm just telling you what works for me. These things probably won't show up in an MRI. Or you can always say that this is a coincidence, that, just because I use these techniques, things are going well for me. But I can say that since I've been using these techniques, things have been working out for me. And I hope that by using these techniques with you, things will be working out with you too. I guess I don't want to fall into the trap of talking about money. I do not want to fall into the trap about the theory about money, or the theory about the unconscious mind, or the theory of a metaphysical world, or a theory of spiritual money and things like that. We'll leave that for professors to talk about it. I'm sure if you have a lot of money, you can take a class at one of the fine institutions we have here in Cambridge. And there are many ways to make money, right? But like tonight, we're not talking about how to make money, but tonight we're talking about how to let money flows into your life. Open up this unconscious barrier that you have. And I don't want to show off, right? But like I've said before, since September, since I've been making a conscious effort to actually practice these techniques, I find that, I have an online business and things have been going well for me over there. And I have, for those of you who know me well, knows that I do, day trading. Day trading basically means that I open up a position and close a position, and during the same day, usually in the same hour. And I can feel the money flow. I can feel money as an energy a lot better than before. And instead of looking for evidence, I just feel the money flowing into me, and then I click whatever. And then things seems to be doing pretty well for me. Well, I'm not your financial advisor, so I don't want to talk about exact numbers and things like that. If you buy me a beer, I'll show you my trading sheets, which is quite phenomenal over the last few weeks. Or you can always say that, it's not because of the metaphysical things that you're doing that makes you a better trader. Is because, over the last few weeks there was a surge in the stock market that makes you a better trader. But I've been doing this for a few years, and in the last few times there was a surge in the market, be it currency or equity or futures, things didn't quite work out very well. I did okay, but like it never worked out the way I wanted to. And since I've been using these techniques, I find myself able to time myself pretty well in the market. But in any case, that is a hobby entirely of a different subject. All I can tell you is these are the techniques that I use, and these are the techniques that works for me. And it doesn't hurt for you to try. Keep an open mind, right? So let me just explain what we're about to do. So instead of looking at money as a very solid piece of paper in front of you, instead of looking money as a coin or a very solid budget in your bank account, and how much money is going into your bank every month, and how much money are you going to pay your bills every month, instead of looking at it like a solid thing, try to feel it as an energy that flows through you. Feel it at the same energy that, look at that light up there, and the way it shines on my face, or I'm sure if you're watching this, you're looking at your computer monitor or your television screen. It's the same wave that flows to your face. It's the same wave. Just imagine money being that energy. Could we do that? Now, I don't want to go into quantum theory, since this is Cambridge and everybody can jump in and correct me anyways. But we know that everything exists both at the same time as matter and as energy. So all you have to do is just think about it not as matter, and think about it as energy. There are more space surrounding a matter than matter itself. I actually took a nanotechnology class at a local university. And the professor, and this is a real big shot professor, in his imagination, or he's working, or in his I guess like aspiration is to develop a technology that could make matter phase through another, because he said there's so much space in between matter that there's really no reason why any solid object could collide, right? And this is, and I mean, it's been talked about in Star Trek before. But my point is, think about all the spaces surrounding yourself and all the energy that are flowing through those spaces. Now just imagine the entire space and all the solid matter is dissolved into energy, right? I mean, if you can think about your wall as a solid object, you can also think about a wall as a mostly emptied energy field, right? I mean, just suspend your disbelief for a second and just use your imagination and imagine that. Now just think about all the objects around you. Your chair, your table. I mean, I'm looking at the cameras in front of me. You may be looking at your television set. Now think about all that as energy, right? Instead of looking at it as a solid object in front of you, just imagine that they're all holograms. Just use your imagination for a second. You can go back to whatever you were doing, or go back to whatever you believed from before. Now think of your chair that you're sitting on is also a hologram. Now think about the floor beneath your feet is also a hologram. And now just think of it not as solid object, but as a ball of energy that is surrounding you, because you know that it is both a matter and energy. Right. Good. Now, if you can imagine everything surrounds you as empty space and energy flowing through them, you can also imagine yourself as empty space and flowing energy. Right? Good. And from extending on this thought experiment, we can call it that, right? Then imagine the world surrounding you turn into energy and hologram and empty spaces. If you can conceive your world as matter, then you can conceive your world as energy, right? If you can conceive their objects, you must also be able to conceive their space around it, right? And it is just as important to consider the space around it as it is considering the object itself. Now, just for this one moment, you can go back to your life after the show is over. But just for this one moment, suspend your disbelief on time and space, or suspend your belief on a solid notion of time and space. Just imagine that time doesn't exist and space doesn't matter. And you can feel that 1 second could be an epoch, and 1 billion years could be 1 second. You can conceive that, right? Just conceive from the Big Bang moment to now. Yeah, there you go. And or conceive this one moment and stretch it out to the time of your birth to until now, into this one moment. Or stretch out this one moment into that time scale. You can do that, right? Good. Now imagine your personal energy field, because we know it's just energy, right? Expanding all the way out to the city center, all the way to New York, or if you don't like New York, go to Tokyo or something. And just feel your energy now expanding all the way to all the edge of the universe, whatever your notion of the universe might be. It's just energy. I mean, energy from 1 billion light years away is a speck in our eyeball. Think of the scale. If that is possible, then think of your energy projecting onto the distant stars or galaxy or, I don't know, like black hole or whatever. All right. So this is the exercise just to open your mind, open my mind as well, to conceive ourselves as an energy being. As you expand into the energy field of the universe, do you feel yourself as an individual in your body, or do you feel yourself as part of this universe? Does your mind and body in this energy field end and begin? If it could keep stretching on and on and on forever and over, and it can still stretch long after our time is here. So it doesn't have to end unless you put an end to it, right? Good. Now blend, and I don't have to tell you to blend yourself with the universe. I'm pretty sure that you have already done so. You could not have stretched through space without being a part of space, right? Your energy could not have projected all the way to the end of the galaxy without being a part of the end of the galaxy, right? Right. So this is what I mean by an energy flow. Now today we're talking about money, right? Something we hold most dear to our heart. And I can talk about all the guilt and emotional thing and what Freud said about, imprints and things like that. But let's not talk about it tonight. Let's not talk about that tonight. Let's talk about money as an energy, right? The same kind of energy that is flowing through around you. It doesn't have to distinguish one energy from another, right? Or if you do, and one energy could be changed into another energy. It is just a waveform. And now feel the hologram underneath you. Just take this moment and imagine that this hologram underneath you, the energy, not matter, that is underneath you, and the wall that is around you that you have just used your imagination and used your mind to turn it into energy. Turn that energy into money. Because you know and I know that money is an energy that is flowing to you. It is an energy that's flowing out of you. Just for this moment, forget about the numbers. Forget about your bills. Forget about whatever is bothering you with money. Or even forget about your desires and your hopes and dreams. Because many times when we try to manifest money, we're actually manifesting a barrier. When we really want money, when we really want to have more money in our life, it is not because we are not actually projecting the the good times or the loving relationship of our money out there. We're actually projecting that, without money, I cannot buy this Ferrari, or without money, I cannot pay off my student loan, or without money, I cannot go to this conference, or without money, I cannot do this and that. So many times, money has become a block to us. Now take this one moment and just try to lower your barrier, emotional barrier or cognitive barrier that comes with money. That's right. And as you do, you can feel more and more of that energy surrounding you. You can actually feel a tingly vibration on your skin or the hair at the back of your neck, kind of like you can feel this tingly sensation. I can feel this tingly sensation on my end of my finger first, and then I feel this energy start to flow through my fingertips all the way around my body. And so can you. But for you to be able to do that, first you must lower your guard. You must first lower your barrier. You must first lower whatever negativity that you're holding on about money. Or any notions that, you don't feel that you deserve money. You don't feel that you deserve wealth and riches. Or at some point in the past, you were taught that money is bad or dirty, and good people doesn't need money, or whatever belief that you're holding on that may or may not have been your own. It could have been beliefs that were forced into you by, even a good intention by your parents or teachers or the media. Or you watch a movie and the bad guy is always a rich guy. Now those are the barriers you're unconsciously holding on to that stops money flowing into your life. Now as you find yourself one by one lowering these barriers, you can find yourself flowing as an energy field at yourself and your surrounding with the energy around you. And as you turn that energy could be anything. Maybe we can do a show about energy being a love, or energy being healing, or whatever that you can think about. But for this one show, we only have about 5 minutes left. Imagine that this energy as money, right? Imagine your chair is vibrating as the same energy field as money. Imagine, your walls and the television in front of you and the ground that you're on as a vibration of money. And as you do, you find yourself also vibrating at the same frequency as the money around you. And we know with electronic banking and trading, trillions upon trillions of dollars are electronic signals that flows around us anyways. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to know what it means. You don't have to take a class on economics. You just need to feel the vibration of the money. Good. And now just feel the entire universe as money. The same universe that you have reached out and touched a moment ago. Or it could be a supernova, or it could be a nebula, whatever your imagination sets a universe is. Just feel that vibration as money. Time and space doesn't matter now. And just feel this energy gently flowing into you now. That's right. Remember now, energy flows in and it flows out. When a river flows into the ocean, the river doesn't become smaller. Just feel this energy flows through you. The more you lower your barrier to receive, the more you allow money flows through you. That's right. And just feel every pore of your body opens up to money flowing into you. And just feel every cell of your body drinking in the energy of money that flows through you, just like it's drinking through a bottle of the cleanest water or the best orange juice. It is nurturing. It is energy. And just let it flow through you from fingertips to fingertips, from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. And just feel this energy that you can manipulate now. You can flow it in front of you. You can flow it behind you. You can feel it all around you. That's right. Just allow yourself to bask in this aura of money flow through you all the way around. That's right. And just feel this flow of energy continues to flow through you long after our time here is over. Good. This is Hypnotist Bernie. Our time is up for tonight. And leave me a comment if you're watching it on YouTube. And join us next week on CCTV Channel 9, Cambridge.